Okay, last question, Scott. It's all about the future of PM.
Nice.
So, when you think about the product manager role, what is something that you see evolving it within that role, looking towards the future, and or something that industry wide we should be kind of focusing on improving about PMs?
Yeah, I think the thing that we should be focusing on, and then the opportunity, hopefully, that's in front of us to do it is like PM can be like it's a super rewarding role, as I mentioned, right? You get to firsthand, talk to customers, deeply understand their pain points, and then you get to go and architect the solutions that ultimately drive the outcome back to customers, and you can measure it and see, that loop is super rewarding.
Yeah.
um, but it's also very high stress. Like, I think, kind of going back to all the things I've talked about being willing to roll up your sleeves, like, you are overall accountable for the metric and the outcome that you're driving, right? So even if like engineering goes wrong, it's like maybe you have to roll up your sleeves and figure out how to unblock your engineers, or maybe the designs that the designers are putting together aren't quite right, and like you need to have that eye to catch things and be like, no, 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 like this isn't going to work for that reason. And as a result, like it's just there's a lot of pressure. I think like we're expected to know a lot about the market, the customers, but also deeply the technical aspect, design, data. There's
Hmm.
it's a very multifaceted role, and I think that can lead to a lot of stress, and if you're not careful about prioritization and taking the time that you need, like burnout as well. And
Yeah.
so my hope is that, like I've already seen Gen AI starting to kind of come and evolve the product management role a little bit.
Okay.
Again, like I mentioned it earlier, like you can use Copilot now to help you write SQL queries, so you don't have to spend so much time being like, how do I do like a left inner join again, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I haven't had success doing this yet, but I'm hopeful that one day, like being able to summarize like market research and customer research, like feeding in a whole bunch of
Mm.
documents and just synthesizing that, helping,
Yep.
you basically having a companion beside you to be like, okay, like I'm trying to ask questions about like this corpus of data that I have.
Yeah.
I really do think, and I'm excited by the opportunity that I think we have for AI to help reduce some of the overhead that comes with the PM role, so that there's less pressure on us to, do more of these kind of, those O tasks, so to speak,
Yeah.
and spend more time on those high leverage L tasks.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like almost as if where you think it might go is that it'll be more focused on like I have the idea and now I have this companion that just helps me
Yeah.
get it
Yeah.
out there, and I no
Yeah.
longer need to spend a week taking a SQL course to get
Yes.
that one view that I'm looking for. Of course,
Yeah.
once you do that, you have this the skill, so to speak, but
Yeah.
or reading through thousands of tweets, right?
Yeah.
Or like your bug example where 1,800 bugs
Yes. Yes.
is a great example there,
Yeah.
where the feedback and the iteration loop will shorten
Yeah.
because it's just about idea, define what the outcome should be with your assistant, and then it'll help you quickly,
Yeah.
get there. Yeah,
And
I
even like
like
even
that.
like wireframing and stuff. Like I've spent a bunch of time, like I am not a designer by any means, but like, in PowerPoint or like drawing things out on paper, even sometimes just to like help design. Like I've seen there's tools that are coming out now where it's like you can just describe the UI you want, and it'll like put the
Yeah,
blocks together, and it's like that is a huge time saver, right? So I'm super excited
yeah,
by the tools that are out there. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of discourse on the internet about like, will Gen AI make like, PMs completely obsolete? I personally don't think so. I think the
nah.
model is going to evolve to exactly what you said, where it's like you still need
Yeah.
the empathy and the human component and the curiosity to go really deeply understand the customer, the problem
Hmm.
you're trying to solve. But AI is going to be this companion that
Yeah.
sits alongside you to just reduce those iterative cycles down to the bare minimum, so you have time to focus.
I think like so much tech in the past, there's been some things that have been replaced out, which probably in the long term good. But really, what all these things do is they just accelerate. They just accelerate the ability to iterate and stuff, and that's exciting. It's also a little scary because it already
Yep.
sometimes feels like we're going at breakneck pace. But
Yes.
yeah, definitely we'll see a lot of changes with
Yeah.
Gen AI in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Scott, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Amazing insights, great presentation. Any parting words that you want to leave folks with?
No, I think just like, yeah, like Jordan, I'm super grateful to have had the opportunity to be here today. My LinkedIn, as I mentioned, was on the slide. So like, if there's any other follow-up questions or anything I can help with, I try to, carve out a decent amount of my time to help newcomers who are up and coming to products. So always happy to chat more. And yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.